Hi everyone, today we're doing a vlog review on The Flash Season 2, Episode 11. So it starts off with The Flash running around town trying to be a good Samaritan and just pretty much wasting his time not wanting to go back to work where Patty is. And we also realize that Patty is leaving in 2 days, which means he should make the most of it, but he doesn't want to because saying goodbyes is never easy. So they soon realize that Toto is actually dead, and Jay Garrick actually blames it on Harrison Wells, which we know is true, but they have no proof that Harrison Wells did in fact kill Toto. But he didn't kill Toto to destroy Barry or Zoom, but it's just to save his daughter, which I feel is quite okay, but still something to ponder about. Then we shift into Cisco, who actually one of the main characters for this week's episode. He realizes that he has to actually vibe to figure out or help out Barry, the team, to even conquer Zoom. So he goes to Harrison and try to figure out a way, which they do, but there's some consequences to him doing that because he's going to alter the timeline. First, he sees that the Reverse Flash is actually back, and that if Barry doesn't stop him, then he's going to go back in time. Back to his time at least. So what they do is that they manage to stop him, and he manages to save a life and also to capture the Reverse Flash. However, by doing that, Cisco is actually dying because the timeline got altered. So even though Barry doesn't want to send the Reverse Flash back or Eobard, he has to because he wants to save Cisco. So Cisco is saved, Eobard is back, and Eobard actually warns Barry that he will find out what is Barry Allen's real name, which is Barry Allen, of course. But he doesn't know that yet, and then he'll come back to actually hunt him down, which we already know that's going to happen because of him killing his mother and also of Iris's ex-fiance. Then of course there's this emotional scene with Iris, Francine. Joe tells Iris that Francine is gonna die and you should say your last goodbye and stuff like that. So Iris does tell Francine that she's no longer mad with her, but she's just upset that when she thinks back to her childhood where it was just her, Barry, and her dad, how would it be like if Wally and Francine was there too? That's one of her regret, and that's what makes her very upset. However, she does make peace with her mother and all is fine. However, her brother does not want to do that. He doesn't see his mother. So Iris actually tries her best to coax him to go and see her, and he does, but he asks her to follow him. So Wally, with the help of Iris, goes to see his mother. Hopefully all goes well over there and that they are able to make peace with each other, and hopefully they can be there for each other as well. However, there's another part that is quite emotional, would be Patty. She is in fact leaving, but she's quite awkward about the way Barry is addressing her leaving. He doesn't really react much to it, but that's because he doesn't want to hurt her. He knows that if Zoom were to find out that Patty actually means something to the Flash, then that would mean that her life would be in danger. However, Patty does realize that Barry Allen is the Flash when she sees Caitlin with him, and Star Labs comes into her mind, and that every case that was solved was always involving the Flash. And Joe was of no help because Joe's reaction was not that good, and he was pretty much a bad liar, quoted by Patty, of course. So in the end, she tries to call for help while she's in the train, saying that some guy is there. She calls Barry Allen, and of course the Flash turns up. and then she says that it's just a false thing, and like it's just a false alarm, and Barry speaks in his normal voice, not the one that is made for the Flash. And then when he zooms off, she says, "Bye, Barry." So it's a very emotional scene because she finally finds out, and yet she can't be together with him. The most important part of the Flash this time was, I think, Hunter Zolomon. I didn't expect him to come into this week's episode, even get a glimpse of him, in fact. We realized that Jay Garrick is in fact sick, and the only way that he can be cured is to get his speed back, which means that Zoom has to die. But Caitlin thought of another way, which is to find his doppelganger, which is in Earth 1. But there's no Jay Garrick, even with the help of Barry. So she confronts Jay and asks him about his doppelganger, which he says to her that, "Come to the park tomorrow and I'll show you." So that's when we get to see Hunter Zolomon, and then she questions him to why is it that they have two different names and it should be like Jay Garrick as well. There is a theory that Hunter Zolomon might have been adopted and that's why his name is different. But we also realize that Hunter Zolomon is actually the Flash, and his enemy, the Flash, would be Wally West, which is Iris's brother. So I've got no idea how it's gonna link up, but that's what it is in the comics, and I think it should be the same in this TV series as well. So let's see about that. And of course, this week's episode is pretty much we get to see the origin of Reverse Flash and how he learns about Barry, how he learns about Star Labs and Harrison Wells and Cisco. And that's why he comes back and takes up Harrison's body, and that's how he kills Barry's mother. That's the origin of the Reverse Flash. So it's a really amazing episode. Everyone had a fair share of like screen time. A lot of things were covered this episode, and I'm like, it's a really, really emotional episode because Patty leaves, Francine's about to die, Wally and Iris bond. So thank you very much to the writers of Flash. That's about it, I guess. There's nothing negative to comment about this episode. Everything is thumbs up and it's all good. So just please like, subscribe, and leave your comments below.